Welcome to the 190th episode of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined by Chronicle executive editor Eric Schwartz, and the entire photo staff, Kody, Christen, and Ridley, Hudson. Photo fellas, how we doing?
How come we don't fist bump like that? I want that type of working relationship.
You and I are like the crotchety old people. Like
we're not like the crotchety old people. We are the crotchety old people.
Yeah, I didn't want to start the podcast off just throwing shots, but I was going to say something along those lines.
Cody's got notes written on his hands. He's got your number this week.
Good. I'm glad.
No. I'm not going to say anything unless I'm prompted to.
He's got a firm doing opposition research on you.
He's just doing the Step Brothers. Aaron better not make me call him dad. Drop that. We're also joined in spirit by sponsors Summit Funding, Chehalis Outfitters, and The Roof Doctor. The only preamble I have on the list is that there were so many graduations, and I would like each of you to weigh in with which graduation produced the best photographs.
Like the best looking children? Is that what you're saying?
Whoa,
man. Jeez.
Well, I was wondering what you meant by that. I'm sorry.
Just the most artistic graduation
I'll
ceremonies.
let these two answer the question, but first I'll lay out that every single member of our staff, except for Chronicle sports reporter Zach Martin, took part in the coverage this year. So we all broke off little pieces. Emily went from PL on Friday night to White Pass on Saturday morning, which I thought was pretty impressive.
That's a trek.
Opposite ends of the county there.
Yeah, a full tour of the county. And let's see, Owen went to Morton, Mossy Rock. Let's see what else. Mitchell Rowland went to Onalaska, and then Ridley did WF West Centralia, and Kody, you did Tenino and Adna. Yeah, I think we had 14 total.
And Tumwater.
And then you did Tumwater as well. I forgot about that. The big three.
Yeah. So which complete photo package you're like, wow, this one just, these photos sing.
Ridley's by sheer quantity and quality. The quality was really good. I loved it. I really liked the Tenino graduation, though. If I was picking one, I thought you got a really good, but that backdrop photo was really good. The Tenino School District liked it, too. It's now their cover photo.
Rube sent me the link.
Thieves.
I liked that. I also liked the kid that thanked you for your coverage in the comments when we posted the photos, and his profile picture was one of the photos that you had just taken. So that was pretty good.
It's nice of him to say thank you.
Yeah. So I don't know, Ridley, talk about what was your biggest challenge in shooting the larger graduations, or was there any? Or were you unchallenged?
I will say, PSA to any school that does graduations inside, don't.
Word.
Anymore. No, but the lighting was perfect for both WF West. Honestly, all of them that I shot, and they were all outside, so that was great. But challenges, I don't think there were any.
You were fine? Good.
Maybe the live stream guys at WF West, they kept telling me to get out of their live stream, but...
Well, that's better. They had a PR rep a few years back that just walked up behind a photographer and grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and dragged him off like he was a child.
Is this Jared?
Yes, it was Jared. He was pretty upset by that. That employee's no longer there. We have the lovely Karina Stanton, that former reporter here that is now their media rep, communications person.
So much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does a great job.
Yeah, she sounds a lot better than...
Yeah, it was pretty bad. The same gentleman wanted us to get slips to say that we could shoot photos of any students ever, and he needed to see the photos first. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
But it's behind us.
Yeah.
Hope he's not a podcast listener.
One other question.
I hope he is.
I don't care.
Did our esteemed headline writer have any trouble coming up with new headers for each post on Kids Graduate?
I did. I tried to. I even used the thesaurus a few times.
Did you flick the tassels in there and doff the caps?
Yeah, I should have used that one.
Walk the plank into the real world, or
I at some point in the middle of the melee on Saturday, because we had a lot on Saturday and a lot on Friday I hadn't processed. You just got a lot of scenes from the class of 2024 at whatever the school is.
Yeah. Well, they look good. And how many full pages printed in today's newspaper?
Well, Rainier and Black Hills got half pages.
Oh.
I feel like it's just I didn't have enough space. I mean, I took half the sports section, and I just didn't have enough space. So I don't know. There's
So what,
14
9 pages?
There was 14 graduations total that were in there.
It's quite a bit.
Kody got to shoot his former classmates out in Adna. What was that like, Kody?
Well, I was a little bit, like Ridley was saying to anyone who has graduation inside, don't, because I was a little bit worried when I was going there because the lighting in the Adna gym isn't great. But then I got there and everyone was outside at the stadium, so I was like, yes. And it wasn't like a totally clear day, but it was clear enough that I could get the mountain in the background of the photos, which whenever there's a mountain visible, I'll do anything I can to get that in the photos. So same with baseball games there. Yeah, obviously. So yeah, I thought I got some pretty cool photos, and anyone who was speaking, I got them like right lined up with Mount Rainier. So I thought those were pretty cool shots.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Thanks.
I wish we get more names and cut lines. I gave you some crap for that, just because they were your classmates.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to bitch. You worked great over the weekend. You both did. They were wonderful. And everyone's going to buy those photos and not right-click and save. I just know it. We're going to sell a ton.
I've already seen so many Instagram posts. Our photos just screenshotted.
I woke up on Sunday after like the barrage on Friday and Saturday and like looked at Facebook. And it took me a couple minutes of strolling to not see our photos on other people's posts. Just like, okay.
I think our photo website honestly like caters to the parents more, because I know my mom loves doing her own printed out photos on canvases and that kind of stuff. So I think that it really caters to the parents that want the high quality prints. And we've gotten a few from graduations. That's good.
Yeah. And I think the Community Foundation reached out and wants to buy a bunch of them. And yeah, that's not why we do it though. We started last year hitting every single graduation, and then this year expanded out to, what did we add this year? We added a bunch of alternative schools that we haven't shot yet. And then Tumwater and Black Hills and Rainier. So Castle Rock next year, maybe. Who knows?
Jeez, it's like you carried away.
It's right there.
You're going to take Castle Rock down?
I don't
Are you
really
declaring
Castle
a news
Rock.
war?
No. We fought.
Is it
we
back
fought
on?
too long and too hard with the Daily News to start that back up.
Clearly, as I've called it before, the war of northern aggression against the Daily News.
Yeah, like it was kind of their fault. It was before you guys got here. We had like a 10-year news war with the Daily News where we wouldn't share any stuff and tried to cover stuff in each other's coverage areas. And
Try to dunk on the other guys reporting, things like that.
yeah.
Remember when Pete fired the shot heard around the region?
We started it just by Pete writing. We were an AP paper at the time, and he just slapped Daily News out at the end of his cut line. So they did not appreciate it.
Another war was on. That's good times. That was a lot of fun. All right, news items. Now that we're done talking about the pictures in the paper. Mm-hmm. First up, historic agreement establishes government-to-government relations between Department of Commerce and the Chehalis tribe. They've signed a memorandum of understanding, which is kind of like the promise ring of government deals. And this should expedite the process to receiving DOC grants. And the Chehalis tribe is the first to do this type of thing. My one note, I applaud Chehalis Tribal Chairman Dustin Klatouche's commitment to wearing a new era hat at all times. Never forget where you came from. He looks great.
It's a perfect hat. I think his kids go to WF West, or at least one of his kids goes to WF West.
I believe so.
I did see him and his son who graduated.
Yeah, you got a good photo.
Yep.
I saw that as well.
Tyler played basketball.
Really good at basketball.
Pretty good,
if I recall correctly.
So, yeah, any other notes on this relationship?
No, I was pretty straight up. It was, as you mentioned, the first of its kind type of thing. I liked Dustin Klatouche's quote, "We kind of like getting stuff done before any other tribes do. That is just another thing we can put under our belt and be number one," which I thought was cool. Flex on him, Dustin. So, and then did he comment to you that we've been using the same photo of him over and over again?
Yeah, the guy that was with him, I'm guessing a PR guy.
Could be.
Yeah, he said that we use
There's a picture of him
every
walking
time.
with Marie Glusenkamp Perez, and when I
Yeah.
search for him, that's what pops up. But we have more now.
Now we have plenty.
I appreciate that you took a few different angles of him at the podium, and I will make sure to use those.
And we have some of him that I did not file walking through the distillery back there where they make it.
Yeah, you should have filed those.
Yeah, I will.
No, you
130 of them. All right, next news item. Lewis County Director of Fluff, Clyde the dog, visits St. Joseph's School in Chehalis. Clyde, who is a dog, was there to pick up donations. Kids raised in a walkathon. He posed for a picture with a 4th grade class, and the kids picked the animal shelter as the recipient of the funds. I kind of like that they have a director of fluff over the county.
Yeah, we talked about that dog before. Did you like the dog?
Yeah, he was cute. He's really calm.
He's got a very kind face in the photos. I've never met the director of fluff, but
he does look for the camera. He's very photogenic.
He's a real glory hound.
I think he was rescued with his mother in Toledo and then taken to the animal shelter. So them giving the money to the animal shelter is, kind of a shout out to Clyde.
Yeah. I'm sure the kids were well aware of county elected positions.
The photos were great, though. I think that day Ridley only had to shoot like 7 or 8 assignments and was wondering whether she could fit Clyde in or not. She did.
He did.
Next item. Thurston County judge dismisses GOP-backed lawsuit to block fiscal impact statements on voter initiatives. The state Republican Party wanted to stop the disclosure of financial impact of their 3 big initiatives. They passed 6, didn't they? But these are the 3 that would have tax impact. Was that what it was?
These are the 3 that the Democrats would not hold hearings on.
Oh, okay. All right.
The 3 that they did and they passed. It was parental rights, the pursuit law, and I can't remember the 3rd one off the top of my head.
So now the voters' pamphlet will have a 10 to 15-word statement on financial impacts of initiatives, just like the new state law said it would. Walsh and his boys also opposed that law. Why the opposition to transparency? What do they have to hide? What do you think? Anyway, Walsh, of course, was quite confident last week leading up to this court decision, saying, "The case is so clear-cut, I'm surprised we have to take it to court. Hubris. Thy name is James Cornelius Walsh III."
I don't think that's his middle name.
Well, I don't think he'd
Is that
tell you
confirmed
what
his middle name?
Also, I don't think that they would couch there as opposition to transparency. I think it's more opposition to having the front runner for Democratic nominee for governor writing it out and being able to decide what the verbiage is and everything.
Do you think Bob Ferguson is sitting down like with his own feather quill pen and personally writing these 10 to 15 word statements out?
Yeah, I imagine he probably texts them.
I don't know. Like when I see people online will complain about this and be like, "Oh well, it's a certain party of the government is going to take control out of this." Like I've worked in the government for a few years. It is pretty agnostic at that level.
Of course, that's what someone at that level would say.
They just like the employees doing these things aren't paid enough to care.
It did prompt a good conversation on absurdities in state government, like the fact that the Republicans argued that all of these were taxes when they opposed them in the legislature, and then when they came out of the legislature, they're arguing that they are not taxes, therefore should not fall under the requirement to have this, which then led us to a talk about Attorney Bob Ferguson and him calling himself the public safety leader now after the last 4 years of
leaning
just
into it.
Chaos.
Chaos.
And how we think that he should just casually whip his blazer jacket back and reveal that he too carries a gun, just like Reichert.
I made this joke yesterday, but he should have twin 6-shooters with law and order written on them.
Start wearing a cowboy hat, boots.
Well, it's about time to get back to the governor's mansion. Next item. Downtown Rejuvenation Project begins. The first Imagine Chehalis open house was held, and a survey is now available online. They're going to spruce up downtown and preserve history. Finally catching up to Centralia, are we?
Finally.
The specific area Imagine Chehalis covers includes Market Boulevard. Is it Market Boulevard? Yeah, it is Market Boulevard. Washington and Pacific Avenues and Boisfort Street. Improvements currently being considered include sidewalk and lighting upgrades, better roadways, and optimized traffic flow through the downtown area. You guys have any suggestions for how to clean up Chehalis?
No, I do not. I like how they could put. I love the boards when they have different areas of interest and you put the sticker on them to show what's most important to you. Mm-hmm. They did one of those. I'm trying to count here which one's got the most stickers.
I saw one of those stickers was just a question that was art kids and things art kids would like to do. It's hey, some art kids like to play sports too.
It's also over, what is this one? Oh, vehicular circulation with a picture of a roundabout has 1 heart on it. For scale, pedestrian access has something 15 or 20 on it. Seating, 1 heart. Not a concern.
No.
Wayfinding signage, also not a concern. Weather protection, not a concern.
I would say the lack of wayfinding signage is a feature, not a bug.
Yeah. but they really care, at least at this point that Ridley took the photos, about historic character, pedestrian lighting, parking, and ornamental planting. Also street trees. They want street trees like Centralia has.
All right. Anything else from that meet? Ridley, did you see anything over there that caught your eye?
Not specifically from this event, but I do have a photo of the Chehalis mayor scrubbing trash cans. So.
Oh, that's normal. Yeah, Tony.
He's just out there.
Tony Ketchum.
So
he's
they're
out there
good.
picking up garbage all the time too.
Tony does that like every afternoon. That's
Yeah, they're fine.
It's his day job.
That's why Chehalis is so clean. Tony.
The flying saucer party is coming up. It just reminded me because Mayor Ketchum figures prominently in it.
Yeah.
The video dropped today. It's like a hype video for announcing the speakers.
Hell
and
yeah.
It's like him getting dragged out of City Hall for a press conference, and all of a sudden from the left frame, Owen Sexton, our reporter, like runs in with his phone and, "What are you hiding, Mayor?"
That's pretty
He
good.
like runs off. There's like a clip of him like exchanging documents with an alien in an alley.
Does Owen also play the alien?
No, he only had that one appearance. Like I thought.
Is
he'd
this
be in
real
there
or are
more.
you just making
No,
this
it's
up right
real.
now? Where can I find this?
Chad sent it to me today. It's probably on the Lewis County Historical Museum website, but they're really doing a good job of hyping that thing this year.
If you send me a link, I'll add it to the show notes or the description when it goes up.
Sounds good.
All right. Next item. We aren't Marshall.
Oh, here we go.
PL Town Marshal steps down after State Commission indicates it will not certify him. Brandon Svensson, who amicably separated from his junior officer role under Roger Morningstar with Morton Police Department and then was kind of hand-waved away by the Toledo Police Department, was hired earlier this year as PL's Town Marshal. However, as part of that, he had to apply for real police training, not just the time he attended the Roger Morningstar Center for people who want to be cops good and learn to do other things good too. But his paperwork was bad. He failed the lie detector test, and then he failed the psych eval. So the State Criminal Justice Training Commission said it can't certify him as a peace officer. The official document from them said, quote, "You'll be throwing your city's money away because there is no way we can ever certify this candidate based on this information." For that to show up in an official document, really, that
I
says
think it was
something.
more of a correspondence. I think that was somebody at this, CJTC, Criminal Justice Training Commission. It was more of an informal communication. But
Still
it
bold
was
of them
communicated
to
nonetheless.
actually put that down.
Yeah, it's very direct. It's uncommon for government types.
PL Mayor Lonnie Willie said he didn't think they'd issue a, quote, intent not to certify letter. I didn't know they had to write those. But they said they will if they try to send him to cop school. Quote from Willie said, "It's unfair to Brandon, but Brandon and I have decided that he doesn't want to pursue it," he said, which is also what I said, when my letters to Florence Pugh went unanswered. He added, "It's just frustrating that they're prosecuting a good man," to which I said, "They are? Who?" Svensson said it was with a heavy heart that he would be turning in his badge and gun, to which the CJTC said, "You had a gun?"
That part's not true.
PL had previously hired a guy from Forks to be its town marshal, and you could shed some light on this. What happened to him?
He had problems. It's a little too personal for me. He was a baseball coach. I'm just saying that he was problematic, if we could just leave it at that. And I don't really remember the specifics.
Anyway, he didn't work out. Then they contracted with Roger Morningstar and the Morton Police Department, though it appears that deal was off, what with Morningstar's firing for breaking sexual harassment rules and records. And then they brought in Svensson, who is frequently in the news for, well, if you listen to this, you know the things he's been in the news for. He is no longer there. The only surprising thing about this is that it happened so quickly. I really figured it would play out a little longer and then PL would be sued.
Yeah, could have been. I think it all came about because he was pulling people over. That was one of the complaints that got them to look into this. If you read the story.
I did read the story. I thought about throwing that in there.
Yeah. So, he called the CJTC, I think that's right. Just to double check. I thought I could do this because you went through the Morton Reserve Academy, but I liked your name for that better.
Yeah.
Light of Morningstar's on the record since at this point. But yeah, you kind of factually laid that out. I thought you were going to be a little more ham-fisted in your criticism.
Here's the thing about Svensson. If you went to anybody that considers him like an influential member of the conservative party of Lewis County, which he was. He was the head of the Republican Party for a while. And you just explained Svensson to them without his name. And you said, yeah, I got this buddy. He's in his 40s. He's unemployed. He can't hold down a job.
You don't know any of that.
He lives with his mom.
I mean, what you said was on the record, and the rest of this. I mean,
This is all, these things are all true.
do you know them to be true?
He can't hold down a job. He thought he was entitled to this job.
He's
a
the mayor.
participation
He's the mayor of
trophy
Winlaw.
job he thought he had.
Mayor of Winlaw.
Not a real job.
It's a job.
It's basically a volunteer position. And you presented all these facts about him to him, and you're like, oh, yeah, he spends all his free time protesting social justice issues, things of that nature. They'd be like, why doesn't he grow up and get a job? These goddamn liberals. And you're like, oh, no, he's in fact the leader of the Republican Party. They would be quite confused.
I guess.
It just surprises me that nobody points these things out more.
It's the people of PL I care about. I just hope they get a good marshal.
Remember when Tracy Murphy went to the Republican meeting and was like, I'd like to present my case for why I would be a good sheriff. And Svensson rolled up his speech and threw it at him, and
I do.
in no short order told him to get out.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, great takes.
Yeah.
He was big on Joe Kent, too.
Yeah.
Worked out pretty well. Best friends with Roger Morningstar. People forget that.
I can't speak to the seriousness of their friendship.
Yeah, I my only regret is that we no longer have Brandon Svensson as a PL Town Marshal to talk about.
You
Anyway.
didn't mention My Pillow guy.
I had that in there, but I skipped over it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I guess if you were explaining this to somebody like, he goes to these weird conspiracy theory conventions, things like that. I don't know. It's just mind-boggling to me that he's had such a sway over Lewis County politics for the last few years.
Should be you.
No, it shouldn't. I'd be god-awful at it, too. Anyway.
Means a lot to hear you say that.
I'm sure it does to you. What have I missed that you've posted on your precious internet
We
site?
can just go over it later.
All right. We will take a break.
Hi, this is Jeff and Julie from Fairway Lanes.
Jeff and I met JSIC of Summit Funding at our bowling center, so when we fell in love with this community and it was time to relocate, we knew we would be calling Summit Funding.
They understand that everyone has a unique situation when buying a home.
He had already helped 2 of our employees get into their own homes. The Summit Funding team exceeded our expectations. It was a seamless experience with great communication from his whole team.
Thank you to Summit Funding for making our buying experience special and memorable.
All right, we're back from our break. It's time for segments. First up is Tales from the Takes page. Schwartz, what's going on your opinion section?
We had Julie McDonald's next installment in the story of the Rayton descendants, which I believe is you guys. Are either of you related to the Raytons?
I don't think
Adna
so.
Story.
We were latecomers to Adna.
She rattled off a bunch of names of people I know or have heard about. Lois Keene, Jim Stafford, David White, Alice Forth, Leroy Wisner, Joanne Clark, Jean Crocker, Dorothy Mueller, Sharon Johnson, Edith Duncan, and Joe Moon, and just writes about how they all trace their roots back to the same family. I've enjoyed that series on history.
Recognize a lot of those names.
Yeah, so do I.
John Braun's latest is initiative takes handcuffs off police, but more work is needed, which he takes some pretty harsh jabs at ya boys, Jay Inslee and Bob Ferguson.
Where are his jabs for Jim Walsh, I wonder?
I mean,
Pray tell.
Anyways, he wrote the decision to finally drop their resistance also doesn't absolve the Democrats of the harm done to countless Washington families by their soft on crime stance. It doesn't bring back the 3 children whose deaths are tied to people who remained free to drive because of the Democrats' dangerous restrictions, which I don't believe can be true because Bob Ferguson was the public safety leader.
And nobody has ever been injured in a police chase.
No.
To my knowledge.
No, I'm not even going to joke about that because people have been. Bob Moorbacher wrote about how the FAFSA simplification project had unintended consequences to the point where it's going to cause some serious headaches for students that require financial aid to attend school. I can't remember his exact dates, but it was basically if you apply now, maybe you will hear about it after school starts in the summer.
That's kind of what the Centralia College website pretty much said.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was kind of a surprise to me. I appreciate that he was forthcoming and transparent about it without even being asked, because this would have made good news coverage. It affects so many people. But it's a good column, and he kind of gives some pointers on how they're going to get out of this. A lot of hot letters this week, good letters, and just interesting letters.
Oh, boy, I can't believe I didn't see this one.
My favorite was from Michael Dolan at the Burnt Ridge Nursery out in Onalaska. He wrote about the oak tree that we've had some stories on from the Olympian, giant oak that they want to tear down. He lays out the history of it, and then at the end noted that he would be at the farmer's market last Saturday handing out acorns from the oak tree that can be replanted. I thought that was interesting. Which letter piqued your interest there?
Plaintiff and PUD lawsuit makes demands.
Yes, that was a bit of a wild ride. She was unhappy. She's one of the people that sued the Lewis County PUD over the smart meters. Mm-hmm. Wasn't happy with her coverage. We told her she'd be welcome to write a letter, and she did, so we ran it. It was a little after her imposed deadline on the PUD, though, so I don't know how that's shaken out. And then Joseph Tippler this one got probably the most action online if you look at numbers. And usually Tippler, he's like a once-a-month letter writer. He always writes letters. Usually he gives you a history lesson and then ties it into something local. This one was just Donald Trump denies without qualification or hesitation that he and porn star Stormy Daniels had an adulterous sexual relationship, yet no one denies, not even Trump. The Trump organization attorney Michael Cohen paid Daniels $130,000. So was Daniels paid not to have sex? That's the letter.
That's kind of a jump in logic.
It's the full letter. I had a response letter that I haven't been able to run yet that said, actually, once we all find out what actually happened in that situation, Michael Cohen was sleeping with Stormy Daniels and stole money from Donald Trump.
Yes, I'm sure that's the actual.
I hadn't heard that one yet. Anyways, that's the long and short of it. No McCroskey this week, so I'm sorry. You can keep that vein in your forehead.
I said he would wait 2 weeks and then reemerge with some scalding hot takes on
He's
Pride
more
Month.
like a once-a-month guy at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just asking for his, his entitlements. That Chronicle check once a month. Curious.
It's not an entitlement. It's literally getting paid for your work.
Work. Oh, we're calling it work now, are we?
It's a column.
Uh-huh.
You used to be able to write columns.
I did write a column. Once upon a time.
Used to.
I used to. What, anything else on there we need to hit?
No, that'll work.
Okay. Next part of segments is where we talk about the roof doctor.
Yeah.
Great segue.
No good segue this time.
How's your roof?
My roof's solid.
Cody, how's your roof?
It's been better.
You're saying it's under the weather?
I think it is.
Wait, who are you going to call about it? Don't say
watch your next words carefully.
Miracle Heating and Cooling. You're going to call the roof doctor in Chehalis, and you're going to give him a call at 360-736-0246 because the roofing services you require are either new roofing and re-roofing, roof repair, roof cleaning, or emergency roofing.
I love the roof doctor, but I wanted to say Ghostbusters so bad.
You could call them too. They do other home improvements too, including
ghost removal.
Home improvement services that enhance the value, appearance, comfort, and livability of your home.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And they also give you a free estimate when they're working on your roof or your decks, railings, siding, windows, doors, full remodels.
I didn't know they did all that.
Now you know.
Wow.
It's right there on their website that we've clicked on every week for the
long
last year
time
and a
to
half.
know that they did all that. Well, that's cool. They kind of pigeonhole themselves with that name, though.
Yeah, they're not just the house doctor.
Yeah, I was just going to say they should make a name change there.
Oh, well, when you got branding as strong as the roof doctor, my man, you don't just ditch that legacy.
I guess.
Visit www.theroofdoctor.com to learn more.
We should definitely have them come look at the Chronicle's roof at some point.
Buddy.
Does it leak?
Does it leak?
Look at the ceiling.
I've been here long enough to know. Where you need to strategically place large garbage cans to collect water. Like I know in my head, there's a blueprint of the building, and I know where all of them need to be. At least for the most current flood season, needs to be updated each flood season.
There was a time you'd see a hole in the ceiling and be like, "Is that a leak or a rat hole?"
It's true. We're past that now.
Yeah,
no more rats.
We know it's a leak now.
Exactly.
People's Champion of the Week. I've got Chehalis man who marked D-Day by playing taps at the grave of his father, a World War II veteran. Ken Dobler, who is a Vietnam veteran, urges younger generations to remember the sacrifices of those who served.
I thought that was a
story.
good Owen piece. Owen, a military veteran himself. This gentleman that the father, I guess, that's at Clicquato, was not at D-Day. He was in the Pacific Theater at that time. Mm-hmm. But I liked that story. The sister actually reached out and said that he was going to be out there, and then said, actually, no, he's not going to be there. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, if he changes his mind, let me know. And then immediately get a message back. He changed his mind. He's going to be there. So nice. Owen ran out there. It was a nice quick hitter. We also have, I like that as the winner, but we also had on Cronline today, the Centralia College Foundation announced their Exceptional Faculty Award winners.
I saw that.
Kelly Erickson and Rachel Bryant Anderson are the picks this year.
All right. Congrats to them.
Which one of you wants to shoot the Centralia College commencement ceremony? Actually, it might be Kody. You might be gone.
Yeah, I can do it.
It is outdoors.
Nice.
I think one of my friends is graduating, so I guess I can do it.
Who is it? You want to name drop him?
I'll name drop Clayton Luce, yeah.
There you go.
Are you going to name drop that into your cut line when you're doing captions?
I might.
Cody's flipping me off right now.
I'm not.
Do we have a Sirens Banger of the Week?
No, I don't.
Do you want to talk about Discover Lewis County's photo contest with a top prize of $1,000?
Yeah, I was going to ask you two if you're going to enter. There's nothing in the rules that prevents a professional photographer from entering.
And there's nothing you would like more than to see Discover Lewis County lose $1,000 to the Chronicle.
It would not be to the Chronicle. It would not be to the Chronicle.
As a perennial hater of Discover Lewis
I don't know why
County.
you bring that up so often. It was hated when it was with the county, and they couldn't tell us how much money it cost.
Yeah,
It's now with the Economic Alliance of Lewis County.
If only we had anything similar to that now.
What do we have similar to that now?
All of the lawsuits. I would love to see a number on how much those are costing us. It's probably a lot more than Discover Lewis County.
Just getting raspy over there talking about the county, frothing at the mouth.
I am. You know I hate hypocrisy. And I'm looking directly at you when I say that.
Oh, come on. It's just mean-spirited. Second place award gets $500. The theme is nature in Lewis County.
I feel like that's too easy.
You think you can just win it?
I think.
Are you calling your shot?
There are a lot of photographers that are pretty good in Lewis County.
Ooh, shots fired. You said you're pretty good.
Cody's pointing at himself as he says that,
No,
beating his chest.
I honestly can't think of a nature photo I have right now that would win. I think I could probably take one, but I would have to go somewhere pretty cool.
I'm not saying like I would win. I'm saying the category just seems like.
I think it should be drilled in on a little bit,
obvious.
a little more specific.
Yeah.
I mean, it's open June 15th through August 15th. You guys have got all summer to get out there and show who the true best photographer is. If neither of you guys win after all this talking it up you've been doing.
What, then we get fired and you hire
You're
the person
acting
that
like
that one.
Yeah, actually, I like this thing.
That's a really good idea. We should run our own photo contest, and the winner gets Cody's job.
Why Cody's job? Come on.
Just an old-fashioned Pete Castor
Kody Christen
standoff here.
unemployment photo competition challenge. Send Kody packing. Send us your best photo.
You guys both should. You should both enter. And if neither of you win anything,
We know something's not right.
Maybe
here.
that can be the tiebreaker for the sports competition.
What if neither of us win though?
Wait. We're calling the photo competition was a tie?
It was a tie.
It was.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
it's
It's a travesty.
Here's the thing, though. I think it's journalism standards are not going to apply to this photo contest. So I know I've seen a lot of photos that are taken of nature in Lewis County that are very pretty because they are very edited.
Oh, that is so true.
So that's one thing that worries me about this contest. But
Oh,
I'm
so
not going to hate
you're
on
worried
it.
that you play by the rules too much for this contest.
No, I think I might not play by the rules for this contest.
So you're going to go edit your photo. You're going to take like a beautiful mountain and then Photoshop in like the biggest bald eagle you've ever seen landing on top of it.
With a American flag in its mouth.
All right. Yeah, I think you guys should both enter it. And yeah, like this is like, like Barry Bonds entering a softball league on full steroids. Just like, here we go. Get after it, guys.
I bet you Jared will enter it.
I bet he will too.
I bet you.
And those photos will be edited.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just saturated to hell and back.
I shouldn't have laughed.
What else? What else we got?
Oh, for like remaining news?
Sirens Banger of the Week, you got anything?
No, we talked about that, and then you pivoted to the photo contest. I don't have any crimes that I'd consider humorous. A guy beat the hell out of another guy with a baseball bat at a shelter on Towers. That give you your jollies?
I didn't
You
say it
happy with
did.
that?
Why are you laughing at it?
I'm not laughing.
You literally are.
I'm laughing at
Sicko.
your just demand to have someone suffering for Sirens Banger of the Week every
I
week.
thought your lunch habits were freaky, but this is even worse.
How dare you? No, I don't. I do not have one. we can skip that.
I don't have any
What are his
Facebook-
lunch habits?
Oh, he goes
He just
to.
thinks they know. I parked out there the other day, and they were sitting along China Creek. He thinks it's weird that I park, listen to NPR, and eat my lunch rather than sit inside. But if I sit
what's
inside, I get
NPR?
bothered like every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
What's NPR?
Did you ask what NPR is?
Yeah.
National Public Radio. They're just like nonprofit radio stations. No, that's not your lunch habit. You're on a diet. You're on like a keto diet, aren't you?
No.
You're just telling me you go to Arby's every day and ask for a pound of roast beef in a plastic bag.
I don't
Like
do
a
that.
goddamn freak.
I don't do that. It's not true.
I don't have any Facebook comments.
My
in the
least
week.
favorite reporter of all time, by the way, was this guy that would walk up and tap on my window while I'm eating lunch and just like give me some like undesirable news. Like he did it twice, and yeah, he knows who he is. Just couldn't stand that guy.
You're not going to name drop?
No.
I'm
No, I
looking
won't.
at the Facebook post of the Discover Lewis County photo contest, and Elijah, ad rep here, tagged Jesse Smith in it. And
Ooh,
Jesse
yeah.
said,
Yeah.
I can't morally enter this contest. DLC is already a client. I'll let someone else catch the stack.
No, Jesse is really good.
Yeah, Jesse's the best.
Jesse shot photos for us for a long time when he was younger. I wish
he?
he still did.
Yeah,
No offense
he's-
to you guys.
he's great.
He's really good.
And then it's a bunch of other people just tagging people they know.
Yeah, that's what we got.
I think you guys could take them, though.
No Facebook comments of the week, though, huh?
No, I don't. I haven't looked through them.
So we'll have to take this opportunity to talk about Chehalis Outfitters.
There you go.
And its Father's Day sale that is going on now.
Oh, yeah.
Which, if you're listening out there and you've got a dear beloved father in your life, maybe he's the editor of your local newspaper, and maybe he wants a gun for for this Father's Day. Chehalis Outfitters is the place to go because they've got guns, all kinds of them. They've got the rifle kind, the pistol kind. Just lots of guns. It's one
6
thing I've
shooters,
known.
8 shooters, even 9 shooters.
They got 9 shooters. Yeah, there's stuff here. Let me just open up the ad and see what we can get. You can get yourself some select models of Oakley sunglasses.
Oh, sick. I'm something of an Oakley man.
That doesn't surprise me. It's like $75 off. You're going to save. That's what you're going to save.
Nice.
There's some rods there, some fishing rods that you can get. All Wicked lures are buy 3, get 1 for free. Mm-hmm. It's a good deal. Let's see what do we got. There's a Carhartt sale. You might want to check this out, Kody. I think we should make it to where Kody can only wear stuff purchased at Chehalis Outfitters as part of our deal.
I was over there. I bought a bunch of stuff over there the other day on Friday, and their clothing section is getting quite robust.
That's good. You
I
can
bought
also
some-
get shoes.
I bought some flowers and things.
Good. Flowers for your homestead.
Yeah, I planted some out front. Put some sunflowers out there.
Get a nice pair of Northside sandals for $18.95.
Sounds sick.
I'm still flipping through the ads. I haven't seen a gun yet. You can get a bunch of canning materials. They got their sale on their pressure canners. Any of you ever do any pressure canning?
No.
No.
Ooh, finally, I found a gun. They've got a Sig Sauer P365 tac pack, free box of 9mm ammo with purchase. It's only going to cost you $600 for this gun. You can get tactical pants.
Gun pants?
When I'm out shooting, I like to have my tactical pants on.
Hey, don't laugh at the gun pants.
I'm not laughing at the gun pants. Yeah, and they got an entire stock of knives, 25% off. Lots of
you're talking.
stuff. You can get some grills. You got a grill?
No.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. He's more of a
don't-
stovetop man. Stovetop
I'm a-
and flowers kind of guy. I get it. I get it. It's cool.
I make a lot of soup. You can't
Chehalis
make soup on the
Chehalis Outfitters. That fits right in. Yeah, lots of deals. Head on down to Chehalis Outfitters Destination Shopping. I wish we had called Kelly, but Aaron refused to do so.
Yeah. I am the only one with a phone.
It's true.
Speaking of Father's Day, here's your Sirens Banger of the Week. Whitlock man charged for allegedly damaging dad's car with concrete, bricks. Seems mean.
Yeah, domestic violence. How hilarious, Aaron.
You were the one laughing.
You want to go through what else is on the Cron line?
Yeah. Read it to me like a bedtime story.
We've got the last roar of the mighty Liberty V12. Seattle 2's engine fired up one final time in Chehalis. That was a good story from Owen.
What is this, a train? What is this?
It's a rebuilt plane from the 1920s, first flight around the world. They rebuilt one of them, and not they, some aviation enthusiasts, and then they planned to fly it and do the same route again. But unfortunately, the route would have taken them over parts of China, Russia, and the Middle East where they can't fly.
Something going on over there?
There's stuff going on over there. So we got that. We got a little write-up on the Centralia College batting cages, the Dr. Richard Phillips batting cages. Kody shot that like a week ago, and his photos got lost in the shuffle due to me. And so that's running. It's a little late. But it's in there. Yeah, there's lots of good stuff. And then we'll have a nice loaded newspaper tomorrow.
Do you see Flood Valley is back open?
I did not see
But
that.
it's not Flood Valley. It's somebody else bought it. It's got a new name again. I can't remember what it's called.
Is that, it's a bar, right? So
Yeah.
I did see that. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I remember. There's also a new restaurant coming to Centralia, if Facebook page is to be believed, called Ox Centralia.
I did see it. What is that? Where is
Not exactly
it?
sure. We're working on it. Owen's
All right.
gonna
Interesting.
check that out.
Cody's peacing out.
And Cody's on his way to the Futurist High School graduation tonight.
Oh, is he finally getting a diploma?
No. I don't know. They hand those out in Adna. Lift this hay bale above your head. Congratulations, you're a high school graduate.
You got to punch one cow. What's in the next edition?
I kind of just gave you a rundown.
I wasn't
on it.
paying attention.
That was most of it. Here, I'll pull open ye old on a general news folder here. We've got a story from Emily on the cold case unit that the Thurston County Sheriff's Office has launched.
Do we have one of those here?
I know Centralia does. I'm not sure if Chehalis does. I don't think the Sheriff's Office does, but I'm not sure. So, city managers, Rob Hill, and oh gosh, why is her name slipping my mind? The retired
Jill Anderson?
Yeah, Jill Anderson. They were at the Lewis County Commissioners meeting today and were honored for their service. There was a body found up on Mount Rainier a couple days ago. They just released that. Looks like a woman went skiing up above Paradise and fell a couple hundred feet off of a cliff. They found her at the base of a waterfall. Pretty sad.
Yeah, that sucks.
And then we'll just have other graduations and stuff. Ridley went out to Mossy Rock Academy last night. Took some photos.
Ridley, how was that?
10 students. It's their largest number, tied with 2022 to graduate.
Last year there were 2.
Congrats to those kids.
Yeah, we're trying to hit all the graduations. We'll probably miss one. I just always happens. Cowlitz Academy, we missed that one, but then we had a kind resident who took photos, submitted like 30 photos, really good photos that we'll run in Thursday's edition. And I got food inspections coming too. I've been waiting for more to be found with findings, but for the past month, there's only 2 that have had negative points against them. And the rest is just a long list of perfect scores. It's like every school, senior centers, the 2 that get dings. Well, you can read about them in the paper. Or I'll just tell you, it's Panda Inn in Centralia and
Thank
Taco
you.
Bell in Chehalis.
No.
They had points.
Oh, in Chehalis.
Yeah. You going to get one of those Cheez-It crunch wraps?
Every time we think they've gone too far,
They take a
they
step
just push
further.
it a little further.
They don't know when to quit.
No, and you know what? They shouldn't. Good for them.
Bring back the double-decker, you cowards.
I know that. Why? Like
It's the best menu item.
you'll throw any kind of snack food in a goddamn taco and call it something new, but the one thing everybody wants is holding it just out of reach. Anyway, we're sponsored by Summit Funding, Chehalis Outfitters, and the Roof Doctor, not Taco Bell. Leave a review and rating on Apple Podcast if you want, or send us an email at chroniclenewsdump@gmail.com.